Xabi Alonso has agreed to become the next Chelsea manager. Here we go. David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano. It's all coming out. It's happening. Xabi is going to be our man. Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sync, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And it's just dropped. It's literally just dropped, so we're going to get straight into it. Fabrizio Romano posted this: breaking, Xabi Alonso has accepted to become Chelsea next manager. Here we go. The agreement is set to be completed. CFC prepare official announcement for the upcoming days, but Xabi said yes. So he's not going to be holding the shirt just yet, and he's not do you know what I mean? He's not the manager yet, but he has agreed the terms of the contract, and the contract now just needs to be made. So David Ornstein posted this: exclusive agreement complete for Xabi Alonso to become Chelsea manager. 44-year-old Spaniard visited London early last week and accepted opportunity. 4-year contract now finalised. Announcement imminent. Primary target throughout unwanted CFC move via The Athletic. So David Ornstein, Fabi Rom, they're coming out. There's a big article that we're going to go through in a minute. Well, I'm just going to go through it anyway on The Athletic. But the interesting thing about the detail in here is it's only a 4-year deal. So what's interesting about that is Graham Potter got a 7.5-year deal. Maresca got a 5.5-year deal. Liam Rosini got a 6.5-year deal. So the fact that this deal is lesser leads me to believe that there's probably more in the way of financial stability for Xabi Alonso if things don't go well, because what's been happening is the manager's been getting these long deals, not doing very well, getting sacked or walking away and not being recompensed for it. Liam Rosini had a clause where if he got sacked in a year, he didn't get the full payout. Enzo Maresca walked away, didn't get the full payout. Graham Potter didn't get the full payout either, I don't think. So that already I think is quite interesting. Now, what we're going to do, I'm not going to put it on the screen, we're just going to read this because about adverts, I'm not sure about it, but we're going to read the whole article together about Xabi Alonso on The Athletic. So it reads as follows: Xabi Alonso reaches total agreement to become Chelsea manager by David Ornstein. An agreement has been completed for Xabi Alonso to become the new Chelsea manager. Alonso, 44, visited London early last week and has accepted the opportunity, with a 4-year contract now finalised and an announcement expected imminently. Alonso was the club's top target throughout, and the former Real Madrid head coach wanted the Stamford Bridge move. The Athletic reported on Monday that Chelsea were exploring a deal to appoint Alonso as a permanent successor to Liam Rosini, with outgoing Bournemouth head coach Andoni Iraola also a strong contender. The former midfielder has been out of management since being sacked by Real Madrid in January, just 7 months into a 3-year deal we signed in the summer. Alonso had joined the Spanish club after he guided Bayer Leverkusen to their first Bundesliga title in the 23-24 season as part of an unbeaten domestic campaign. Madrid won 10 of Alonso's first 11 La Liga matches at the helm, including the October 24 Clásico, but fell 4 points behind eventual winners Barcelona and lost to them in the final of the Supercopa de España. Alonso's appointment would mark a return to the Premier League after a 5-year spell with Liverpool, during his playing career in which he won the Champions League in 2007. Chelsea parted company with Rosini on April 23rd after less than 4 months in charge. The former Strasbourg head coach was appointed following Enzo Maresca's departure in January, but was dismissed after a run of 5 successive Premier League defeats. Callum McFarlane was placed in interim charge until the end of the season, and he has overseen a loss to Nottingham Forest and a draw to Liverpool, and now the FA Cup final loss to Man City, in addition to guiding us to the FA Cup final. A shift of power at Chelsea. For Chelsea to have finalised the appointment well in advance of the chaos of the summer transfer window and the World Cup is a huge relief, and the man they have chosen for the job on paper ticks every box. Alonso's achievements at Bayer Leverkusen demonstrate his ability to pull together a winning side, while his stature as a player should help command the authority that Liam Rosini seemed to lack. The way Alonso has set up his sides in the past, while he has shown a willingness to adapt the exact plan to fit players' characteristics, broadly fits the personnel that Chelsea have, and having clarity about who they will be playing for ought to speed up moves for any additions needed. The bigger question mark over Alonso arises from his short tenure at Real Madrid, where internal politics proved too much for him. Chelsea will hope that proves to be a reflection on the Bernabeu dressing room, arguably the most unwieldy in world football, rather than the man they have tasked with revitalising their expensive, talented and at times chaotic team. The most significant point, though, is that Alonso has been appointed as manager rather than head coach, signifying a wider remit than the purely tactical. The structure Chelsea head coaches have been asked to operate under Bluco has been a source of tension, particularly for Mauricio Pochettino, and some have suggested that head coach candidates would balk at the perceived lack of control at the club. For Alonso to take on the mantle of manager suggests a shift in power of the man in the dugout. How Chelsea's leadership adapts will be fascinating to see. So, look, wild, it's happening. And the absolute massive thing about this is he's not the head coach, he's the manager. They've given him the control. Everyone that has been screaming in my comments for the last however long, Blue Cole will never do it, Blue Cole will never do it. It's like, look, man, they've done it. They've literally done it. So, what more do we want? He's the most qualified. He's got amazing winning experience in Bayer Leverkusen. He's being given more power. He's going to be able to talk about the transfers that he wants. Mate, it's happening, man. It's happening. We're here. Xabi Alonso is the guy. Xabi Alonso is 100% the guy. I'm really excited about it. There's going to be loads of content coming out about Xabi Alonso and the players that he wants and the teams and the permutations and stuff. And I do think it's interesting that we've already been seeing Chelsea kind of play a back three in, recently as well, to see what players we've got kind of fit that already. Instantly, I think Malagusto is probably, based on his performances recently, Malagusto is probably not going to do very well under Xabi Alonso. And I'm largely basing that off of what looked like a quite woeful performance in the Club World Cup. His decision making is not very good. There's going to be a mix of players. Some are going to do really well, some are not going to like it at all. It's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens. But at the end of the day, guys, Xabi Alonso is going to be the next Chelsea manager. Now, okay, so the agreement, it's been agreed, right? So we are in a place where it's like, maybe something happens in the next couple of days, but this is on, man. Like, we've got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. David Ornstein is coming out and saying it. And look, this is fantastic news. This is absolutely fantastic news. And what it is good about is finally seeing that the Chelsea board have looked at what's going on and they've said, do you know what? This isn't really working, is it? Let's get someone in with some credibility that the players will respect for his management career and his playing career. Let's give him the keys to the castle. Look, I wouldn't have wanted to give Maresca the keys to the castle. I wouldn't have wanted to give Liam Rosenior the keys to the castle in the same way. I'm not saying that I love how it was, but Xabi Alonso has proven that when he's given the keys to the castle, that he can do well. The stuff that went on in Real Madrid, like, I don't really tarnish Xabi Alonso too much with the stuff that went on at Real Madrid at the end of the day. Because if you think about it, like, look at what's going on now. The players are falling out. They're fighting in the training grounds. It's all absolutely wild. So regardless of Xabi Alonso's not particularly fantastic tenure at Real Madrid, I wouldn't really put all of that on him. What we have to focus on is he built himself up at Sociedad. He did absolutely stunning work at Bayer Leverkusen. And he's the gaffer. He's the gaffer. He's not just the head coach. He's literally going to be our manager. That's absolutely phenomenal. So guys, I need to know everything you think about this in the comments. And if you have made it this far into today's episode of the Stamford Sync, please do me the distinct honour of liking and sharing the video, subscribe to the channel, or just roast me in the comments, whatever gets you through your day. So, guys, get your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Do you think this is the right guy? At the very beginning when we sacked Rosenior, I was very much like, I'd love to see Cesc Fabregas. But Fabregas getting Como into Europe and looking at all of the other guys that we've been linked with, Iraola, Xavi Hernandez, Glasner, Marco Silva. Oh, it was looking so rough, wasn't it? But that doesn't seem to be what's happening. And I do think this is a particularly strategic moment to drop this news as well. I have a feeling that it was probably going to drop regardless, right? It wasn't going to be, they've done it faster because we lost. I think this deal has already been agreed up until now. It's a good time to drop it now because we just lost the FA Cup final against Man City. Small piece on that, I guess. It's not really what this video is about, but the boys put in a good show at the end of the day. It wasn't good enough. We couldn't get a goal past them. We had good chances. We were dominant in the first half. The goal, the Antoine Semenyo goal was absolutely wild. Amazing piece of play from Erling Haaland to get the ball into him, and just unbelievable wizardry from Semenyo to get that in the first place. But it looked like we were in the game, right? And if anything, that makes me feel better about the games that we've got coming up. If we'd have got pasted by Man City, I'd feel nervous going into Tottenham. I'd feel nervous going into Sunderland. But we've seen enough that we can go toe-to-toe with Man City for the majority of a game and only be beaten by a piece of absolute magic by a really, really phenomenal player who's on amazing form. So, look, it is what it is. FA Cup final, it's over. No Europe for us next season. Well, kind of want no Europe at this point, to be honest. I feel like we'd be better off not getting into the Conference League, but no Champions League because we can't finish sixth. Probably no Europa League. Hopefully no Conference League. It's a weird one, isn't it? Like, I'd probably rather miss the Conference League, but we'll just have to see what happens. So, guys, it's just going to be a bit of a short one today. I am going to start wrapping it up there, but let me know everything you think about this in the comments. Xabi Alonso looks like he's going to be our man. It's officially time to start getting excited about it. If any of you guys were of the opinion that, it's not going to happen, Blueco this, PR that, whatever, it's like you can forget about all that now and it doesn't matter anymore. Back the manager, back the team. Let's go in and have an absolutely massive summer transfer window with a manager who won an invincible double for the first time with a team that have never done it before, and he beat an amazing Bayern Munich in order to do it. Nice one, guys. I'm going to wrap the video up there. Thank you very much for sticking around with me until the end of the video if you did, and I'll catch up with you all very, very soon. Take it easy. Peace.